If you've been paying attention to the latest chatter in the Apple community, you've likely heard that the iPhone 17 leaks are already surfacing. And it's not just vague rumors. We're talking about real, specific details that are starting to paint a very clear picture of what Apple has in store for 2025. For those expecting something radically different, something that redefines the iPhone experience, well, prepare yourself, because the iPhone 17 might look eerily familiar. That's right, if you were hoping for Apple to shock the tech world with a complete redesign, groundbreaking features, or even something like a foldable form factor, you might want to temper those expectations. But that doesn't mean nothing's changing. In fact, the most intriguing thing about the iPhone 17 leaks isn't the radical, it's the subtle. The question is, are these small upgrades enough to justify the hype and, more importantly, your money? Let's start with the most noticeable thing, display size. The base model iPhone 17 is expected to jump from a 6.1-inch screen to a 6.3-inch one. It's not monumental, but it does mark a shift in Apple's screen philosophy. This move could unify the screen sizes across the lineup, inching the base model closer to what we typically expect from a Pro device. But the bigger story isn't just the size, it's what Apple is finally bringing to this display. A 120 Hz refresh rate. Yes, promotion might finally come to the base model. This is huge for the smoothness and responsiveness of the interface. It's something tech reviewers and enthusiasts have been begging for. And if the rumors are true, Apple is finally delivering. It also suggests that Apple wants to blur the line between base and Pro in certain areas, perhaps to push more users toward the base model now that it will feel a bit more premium. Interestingly, the software side of this camera may be just as compelling as the hardware. There's talk of a new Health Plus app that uses AI to analyze your workout through the front-facing camera. Imagine doing yoga, push-ups, or stretches in front of your iPhone, and the AI is tracking your form, rep count, and posture in real time. While this sounds ambitious, it's not outside Apple's wheelhouse. They've already leaned heavily into health and fitness with Apple Watch. So bringing this to the iPhone is a logical next step. Of course, with AI becoming the buzzword across the entire tech industry, Apple is rumored to be implementing more on-device AI capabilities in iOS 19 and beyond. This could mean personalized health suggestions, automatic photo and video enhancements, real-time transcription, or even AI-generated content suggestions. All these features could feel futuristic on the surface, but they also represent a major privacy consideration. How much of your behavior is Apple watching and interpreting, and where is that data going? Now, here's the part that might underwhelm some users: the chip. Based on the current leaks, Apple may not upgrade the chip at all for the iPhone 17. That means we could be looking at the same A18 chip that's in the iPhone 16 lineup. No new silicon, no next-generation speed bump, and possibly no changes to battery efficiency or thermal management. On one hand, the A18 is already an extremely capable processor, especially for the everyday user. But for a company known for its silicon innovation, not pushing the chip forward could be seen as stagnation. Then there's the camera system on the rear. Same story. Don't expect a massive upgrade. No new lenses, no dramatic zoom range improvements, no LiDAR enhancements, and no under-display camera magic. It seems Apple is content with keeping the iPhone 17's rear optics the same as the previous generation. That's either disappointing or reassuring, depending on where you stand. If you thought the iPhone 15 and 16 camera systems were already world-class, maybe you're happy with consistency. But if you were hoping for real evolution, especially in a world where Samsung, Google, and even OnePlus are pushing computational photography further each year, you might feel like Apple is playing it safe. Battery life? No change expected there either. And it makes sense. With no chip changes and largely the same internal architecture, Apple doesn't seem to be revisiting the battery chemistry just yet. If there are any gains in battery life, they'll likely come from software optimization, not hardware. But don't worry, there will be at least one new color. That's basically tradition now. And no, It won't be the one everyone actually wants. It'll be some shade of green or lavender that feels trendy for about 3 weeks before you slap a case on it anyway. This brings us to the heart of the iPhone 17 conversation. What is Apple doing here? Is this just another mild refresh of the same formula? Or is Apple subtly repositioning its lineup to better reflect user expectations? Because here's the thing, Apple isn't in the business of being first. They're in the business of being polished. They don't rush to market with features. They wait until they can fine-tune them. That strategy has kept them at the top of the smartphone game for over a decade. But in 2025, that approach is being tested more than ever. With foldables maturing, AI integrations getting deeper, and competitors releasing phones with eye-popping innovations, Apple's slow and steady pace could feel less like refinement and more like resistance. Still, there's an argument to be made that the iPhone 17 isn't for the early adopters or the power users. It's for the everyday customer who wants a device that just works. A slightly bigger screen, a smoother interface, a sharper selfie camera, and the same rock-solid ecosystem might be enough for the vast majority of users. But what about the longtime fans? The ones who remember when Apple took bold steps with every release? Are they being left behind? Or is Apple simply evolving into something else? Something safer, more conservative, more platform-driven than hardware evolutionary? In many ways, the iPhone 17 leaks tell us more about Apple's mindset than the device itself. This is a company that is doubling down on familiarity, on iterative change, on slow and controlled transitions. And for better or worse, the market seems to accept that, even applaud it. So what are we really getting with the iPhone 17? A refined version of the device you probably already own. A slightly better display, a more advanced front camera, possibly a cleaner design. No major battery, chip, or rear camera changes. A smarter operating system layered with health and AI tools. And maybe, just maybe, a reminder that Apple is playing a very different game than its competitors. Is it enough for you? That's the question. And for some it will be. For others, not even close. Either way, the countdown to September just got a little more interesting. Let me know what you want to see in the iPhone 17. Do you think Apple is doing the right thing by playing it safe? Or is it finally time for them to take a leap? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you're into deep tech breakdowns like this, and we'll see what Apple really has in store in just a few months. Until then, stay curious,